Hey everybody, this is Ryan here with Nate, and we just wanted to talk to you quickly because we aren't going to have an official episode from June, which you may have noticed, it's already late June. But we took a little break here in the summer as things were kind of starting to heat up a little bit.
Not in an angry way.
Not in an angry way. No. Not even in a temperature way. No. Just with the getting back to normal.
That and just so much partying. Just partying so much this month that we just didn't have time.
Well, you accidentally bought all that White Claw, and you had to.
Right. We've got to get through it. So
you had to get through it.
I had to get.
That's a story, but for another day.
All the different flavors, I had to try them all. So yeah.
Well, and then you work with the distributor directly for your beverages. You know somebody. And there was a mix-up.
They just deliver it. But anyway, so much partying going on this month. We decided to just keep the party going for all of June. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to keep June off the table for Can We Still Be Friends? You know, we don't take breaks very often. So, this is kind of a nice little breather before we get back into it next month in July. We still are planning on doing Labyrinth and having our very good friend Phil Vickers on as the Muppet expert to talk about Labyrinth. And also, I don't know if you knew this, Ryan, but Labyrinth is available to stream on HBOMax. So there's ways to get to it, and we hope you do still watch it with us. Yeah,
definitely. And speaking of watching things, have you been watching anything? If we don't have an episode for this month, are there things that we can recommend to people?
Yeah, well, we don't even have to necessarily say a movie. I can talk about like a TV show or something. So I mean, we watched. Did you ever watch the show Shrill? It's a Hulu show.
I started it. Yeah, I started it
with A.D. Bryant. But we've been watching that, and I've been working my way slowly through Barry Jenkins' Underground Railroad on the Colson Whitehead adaptation on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I feel like I need to gear myself up for, and maybe I don't need to.
Yeah, but don't binge this one. It's not. I've been working on it. It's probably been over a month now. I've just sort of hammered away at it a little bit here and there. It's very good. Very good, though.
Really looking forward to it. I did read the novel, and I enjoyed that.
What about you?
We recently watched Judas and the Black Messiah, finally.
Oh, yeah.
Which was incredible. I really enjoyed that. Directed by Shaka King and starring Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. And I don't know if you ever watched on Netflix Lupin. The French series. Last fall, I think it came. The first 5 episodes were on Netflix, and it left on a major cliffhanger. And just recently, they released the second part of that. I guess there's kind of like a French Sherlock Holmes. Arsène Lupin is this very famous French character, and this is a really unique reimagining of that. In that the main character is a Senegalese, the son of a Senegalese immigrant in France, played by Omar Sy, and he is just a huge fan of Arsène Lupin. And he knows him so well that he's sort of modeled his skill set on that character, which is a really kind of interesting, kind of an iconic white character played by a black immigrant character, and where Lupin, the character in the books, is a master of disguise. Omar Sy kind of uses the invisibility of black people, like the way that as like domestic help, they're kind of unseen to kind of be his sorts of disguises. And it's not like impeccable. It's a little silly at times. Like the episode we watched last night had a high-speed chase down a country road, and it was just this narrow road with no other cars. And at one point, the passenger's like, there he is. It's like, well, of course he is. There's nobody else on the road. But it's got a lot of good twists and turns, and Omar Sy is really, really good in it.
Cool.
I also started watching Loki on Disney+.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that with Disney+, they're doing some more unusual stuff with characters, and this one introduces
like the whole
time variance authority. Exactly,
was big for a bit, and then now it seems like it's all Loki. I feel like all I'm hearing about is Loki, but I don't know much about it, to be honest. I don't know many of the details around it.
Well, yeah, so it's taking kind of all the possibilities of Loki as a character, as like a shapeshifter, and introducing the time variant authority. And the first episode is very like Brazil, like Terry Gilliam this kind of dystopian.
I'm listening.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I hope. Here's what I watched WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it feels like they're willing to be experimental for a time. And then both shows so far have kind of been, and then we're going to get back into what the people love about Marvel movies, and it becomes kind of big, fighty, blow up stuff. And so, I don't know. I guess I need to be okay with that, but I feel a little bit let down when it's like really cool concept, and then they just kind of work to get it back to a Marvel movie.
They got to corral it all back into the universe.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to see, like In the Heights I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
and
same here. I got to still watch that. I did watch The Father. I finally caught up with that one.
Oh, yeah?
And, and all the buzz about that was more just about the upset of Anthony Hopkins. That's really unfortunate because that is a fantastic movie.
Okay.
And, it sounds like, oh man, a movie about dementia. I don't know if I really want to jump right into that, but it's not what you're expecting. It is so much of just getting into the mind of someone with dementia. And, what's the famous Ebert quote about movies being sort of machines of empathy, I feel like after watching that movie, I had an understanding of dementia I never had before.
Interesting.
About like, oh, that would be really scary, or that would just be really disorienting. And man, I mean, it's Anthony Hopkins is like, man, of course he deserved that Best Actor award. It's such an incredible performance, and it's a pretty short movie. It's just, it almost has, if this is a selling point for maybe some of our audience, it almost has like a Charlie Kaufman-esque kind of feel to it.
Okay.
Because the movie itself sort of plays within the mind. Anyways, that's a great movie that I highly recommend people still seek out from last year.
And was that on a service that you streamed it, or did you end up getting it from the library?
For that one, I had to go through the local library. So check your local library. I actually don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I don't think it is though.
Yeah, it looks like it's just available for rent.
Yeah. So that's been our Junes. It sounds like.
Yeah. And with the partying,
with the White Claw,
I've been at a couple of your parties.
Yes.
So it's been good to see you there, but it's also good to catch up here, and good to reach out to you guys for a little bit, and look for our July episode on Labyrinth, which is streaming on HBO Max.
Yeah. So we'll catch you next month.